Good day, everyone. It's Lavon McMillan, founder and owner of Advocate for Me. Today will be episode number 5. We have a special guest on tonight that I will be interviewing, and I'm so excited that she's here. She's an awesome mom, awesome wife, amazing daughter, and just she is so lovely to be around. So I want to present to some, introduce to others, Jamila. Say hi, Jamila.
Hello, everyone. And Lavon, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate this opportunity.
You're welcome, welcome. So tell us about Jamila. I know I just shared that you was a mom, a daughter, a wife. I forgot to say sister. Like, just tell everyone about Jamila and
um,
your family.
so I'm a wife. Been married for 12 years now. I have 2 kids of my own and 3 bonus kids that my stepkids. Um, I am an autism mom. I published my first children's book last year, so I am now an author. And I am also now the president, CEO, and founder of Autism Rec, which is now a nonprofit organization.
Awesome, awesome. Can you share with everyone what Autism Rec mission and purpose is?
So, Autism Rec started in 2017, June of 2017. It just became a nonprofit organization August of this year, 2020. And I just decided with the pandemic, it gave me time to go ahead and start the paperwork and do the process. So I started Autism Rec because of my son Jasir, who has autism, um, which is also the reason why I wrote the book. One day Jasir was outside playing and wanted to play with the other kids, but they didn't want to play with him because of his autism. So with that, I went on Facebook, started searching like different autism support groups that was based in Philadelphia. From there, I reached out to other parents to do a meet and greet, so that I can meet other parents that was going through the same things that I was going through, and so that my son can meet somebody that he can play with. And we're in a space where with other kids and families where we won't be judged. We are all the same. We're all going through the same thing. So from there, the first event was a success. There was many parents that came out. So I felt like it was needed. It was my purpose. Um, to go back just a little bit, just a year before, maybe 9 months before, I had lost my job, um, because of Jasir's autism and him trying to hurt himself, and me not having a trusted after school program for him, I should say. So, because he was nonverbal, um, my husband didn't want to send him to school, so we homeschooled him through Agora K 12. So, when it was time for my husband to go to work, because he did it in the morning while I was at work, and then my husband worked in the evening. But he had to be to work at 3 o'clock. I didn't get off until 4 o'clock. So for those like 2 hours in between 2 and 4, we needed somebody for Jasir. So he was bringing Jasir to my job. It was okay with my job because I worked in the doctor's office, but it wasn't okay with the patients. So after a while, it became a burden and they let me go. And I felt like once I had the event, all of the parents came out. Um, they were telling me that this was something that they needed, that they loved to have in their neighborhood, and it was nothing like that within the urban community. So from there is when I started Autism Rec, and I wanted to keep it going, and I have been keeping it going since June of 2017.
Awesome. So I'm going to piggyback on how me and you met.
Yes.
Because it was based on autism, right?
Yep.
So
And it
I
was
was,
that event on
yeah,
June 2017.
yeah.
Yep.
So I was on Eventbrite looking for something similar, like something that to support a special needs support group. And when I typed it in, all I could find was like in Jenkintown, PA,
Mhm.
Abington.
Mhm.
It was all on the outskirts of
Yeah.
Philadelphia. I
Yeah.
couldn't find nothing in Philadelphia. But lo and behold, Jamila's the one she was talking about, her first event, like popped up on the Eventbrite. So I reached out to her. Let her know that I wasn't a parent of a child with autism, but I I work in the field of early intervention. I'm always supportive of families and friends with children with special needs. So I told her I was coming to the event.
Yeah.
And I was coming to support her and be a volunteer. But lo and behold, that day my mom decided that she wanted me to take her on some errands. So I didn't make the actual event, but I had a donation for Jamila. So I called her and was texting her and blowing up her phone. And I was like, "Are
Yeah.
y'all still there?" And she was like, "Yes, we're still here." So, like, literally, me and her only met for like 5 minutes. I was like, "I'm just giving you this seed towards your organization. I just want to make sure you continue doing it because I can't find nothing else in Philadelphia that's doing it." And ever
Yeah.
since then, me and Jamila have been friends. Like, we've been just been
Yeah.
partnering on so many events, partnering on so many different projects. So I truly, 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 she's truly a blessing to the autism community, to parents. She supported me, and Barden moms. When we did Autism Moms Night Out, she jumped right on board and was like, "What do you need me to do?" So she is definitely one that wants this mission to be carried out for families. So I definitely commend you on that. And and not being like not letting, I don't want to say the world, but not letting society stop you from doing what you're doing for your son and for the other children because they definitely need it.
Yeah.
Um, I know when we're partnering up and we're working with the families and with the children, just to see their faces and how they light up and how they interact with each other, it's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and I absolutely love it. So my next question, because I shared with everyone that you're a wife and a mom, and so you're wearing like a lot of hats, and now
Yeah.
you're the president of your own organization, own nonprofit organization. So just give any other listeners who may be listening who want to step out and become an author, who want to step out and start their own organization, or who just want to step out and advocate for their community, whether it's autism, Down syndrome, any special needs. Just eh, share with them how it is to have multiple hats and multiple things to do, but also being committed to the organization.
Um, it's not easy, but I am one that believes in God, and my faith in God is strong. So I believe that with you can do anything as long as God is in it, as long as you keep God first. I'm not going to say that it's easy because it's not easy. It's at times it's very stressful. At times I can say that I didn't make time for myself because I made time for everybody else. Like I said, I have two boys of my own, and then I have three bonus kids. And my stepdaughter, she calls me mom and she looks at me as her mom. And she also had trauma in her life as well. So it wasn't always easy, and it's still not. I'm just constantly in prayer. I try to make time to, spend that time with God so He can direct me and direct my footsteps to let me know if I'm going in the right direction and to let me know. if this is my purpose. So that's another reason why I don't let society or the world discourage me from keep on pushing and doing what I'm doing for the autism community, because I feel like this is what God has me here for. This is my purpose. So I would say you do need a strong and good support system, which I do have that with my husband, my mom, my sister, my brother, my son Jameer, who's 19. Surprisingly, yes, my 19-year-old is a very good support system for me. So I would say if you have that support system and you put God in it, you can do anything you set your mind to. And this was another reason why I also created Autism Rec, because a lot of people don't have that support system. And a lot of the parents that do come out, I would say about at least 70 to 80% of them are single parents. So I wanted to be that support system for them if they don't have it. So that's why I keep pushing, and I want to leave a legacy for my son. I don't want my son to have to struggle once I leave this earth. I don't want him to have to want for anything, which I know it that may be impossible for, because a lot of us still want for things, but I just wanted to make sure my son would be taken care of when I am called to leave this earth. Um, so that's one of the reasons why I continue to push, and I continue to, you know, keep my faith that God will make it happen if it's meant to happen.
Exactly, exactly. Taking that step out on faith, that leap of faith. I know it can be fearful, but we can't. I'm saying we can't, but fear and faith don't go together.
Right,
So we
right,
got to decide which one we want to choose. And definitely, I know for sure that we both are walking in faith. Whatever God has in store for us, like you were saying, for Him to order our footsteps.
right.
Um, 'Cause some of the things that me and you just walked into project,
Yeah.
money and stuff like it was like I didn't even know this was happening, but that like you said, just ordering our steps, putting us into the right room,
Yeah,
sitting at the table, and sharing our knowledge and our information with so many people who may not understand, but we're there to educate them,
yeah,
to open up their eyes so that they are able to see and be um, inclusive as well as diversified, and knowing the challenges that our families are
yeah,
facing when caring for a child with special needs.
yeah.
So, what goals do you have for Autism Rec? Since now you're a nonprofit, yay!
um, so the goals I have within the next, I would say, few months, because I have goals for a few months. I have goals for a year. I can go on with my goals that I have, but um, one of my goals that I'm trying to work on right now is to get the programming started. Um, Even though we're in this pandemic, I still want to maybe try to do our programming, maybe try it virtually for the beginning, and then maybe start out in small groups. Um, but I have lots of ideas for programming, um, social skills group, yoga classes, um, basic programs to make it so that these kids can live a productive life on their own once they get older. So they'll have the skills and the knowledge to do whatever it is they want to do, or that they have thoughts of doing, put in their mind so that they're able to do it. Um, we'll be doing cooking classes, baking classes, sewing classes, crochet, social skills group, yoga. I also wanted to do like a um, career program for the kids where if we have kids that's 16 and over there that's able to work and they want to work, we would help them find a job or we would be able to provide a job for them. So that's one of my major goals that I would love to do is to do a job program where we can set them up to do volunteer work, to get training, whatever it is, whatever field they want to go into. I want to be able to connect with that field and get them in that position that they want.
Awesome, awesome. I'm excited to hear that. So excited to hear that because it's definitely
Yes.
needed. Um, I mean, just in general, the schools they've taken out all those classes that you
Yes,
just talked
yes.
about, the sewing and cooking. I remember being in elementary school and having to decide that I want to take wood
Or
shop
home ec
or
or
sewing
something like
classes.
that. Yes,
A
yes.
home ec, yes. And I'm one, I don't like to cook, so I was going to the class where you get to cut the wood. And like, me and cooking don't get along. Like, I don't like cooking. So I was always like, I'm going to sewing class or I'm going to wood shop. Like, and now they've taken all those out of the
Yes,
schools. So to hear that you want that to implement that for the children, that is just amazing. Because they need those
yes,
skills.
yes,
Like you were saying, you want your son to be able to live his life. God forbid something happen to you. You want him to be able to, take care of himself. I know it's a young gentleman. He's older than me. And I've watched him from a child all the way up until now. And when I was a child, I didn't know what his diagnosis was. But now that I'm older and I'm in the field of special education, now I know what his diagnosis
right.
is. And every day at the same time, he walks past mom's house and he goes to the store. And I'm like, wow, somebody actually taught him that when he was younger, when he was a teen, because I remember them walking past our block every day at the same time. And now he's a grown man and he still walks down the block at the same time to go to the store. But that was a life skill that he
Yeah,
learned and he continued it on same time. When I tell you to the
yeah,
T, same time. I don't care if it's raining, snowing. He knows exactly where to go and how to come back. And I was just like, wow, like he learned that,
yeah,
as a teen, and he remembered that, and he's caring for himself. Like he's a grown, like
right,
I don't want to say my age, but yeah, he up
right, right,
there. And he's still doing it, and he's still even with the neighborhood
right.
changing, like with them closing the stores and changing stores, like he's still able to go exactly to the same environment, to the same part of the
That's
neighborhood, and
good.
find something
That's
for
good.
him to go get something to
Yes.
drink, whether it's soda, water, go get something to eat. Like he knows to go to that same area and then come right back.
Wow.
So that's definitely needed.
That's good.
So I commend you on wanting that to be one of the programs. And you touched on just a tad bit of self care. With you wearing the many hats of mom, wife, and uh sister and
Yeah.
daughter and uh president. Now I love saying that now, president. Um, so just, you talked a little bit of, doing everything for everyone else and not being able to take care of yourself. So I'm hoping the next question that I'm gonna ask you is that you found time for Jamila. So can you share with us what some of the things that you do for self care?
um, honestly, right now, the only thing I do for self care is get into my Bible and spend some time with God. Uh,
That's That's one right
Yeah.
there.
Um, I really don't do much of anything else because of the pandemic, but I would love to like just have a day to myself where I just go out, I pamper myself, and I get my hair done, I get my nails done, I treat myself to something nice to eat. I would love to have a day like that, but I haven't had one of them days in I don't know how long, even before the pandemic. I want to say maybe 2016. I may have had one of them days. Um, so I hope after the pandemic and once things calm down a little bit with these cases going up again, I would hope that I can, um, focus on myself a little bit more. But right now,
Um,
that's the only me time that I get is my time that I dedicate to spend with God. Sometimes I might
so
gotta lock myself in the bathroom to hide from everybody else, but
that's everybody. I think that's every mother's highest spot is the bathroom, and then sometimes it don't work then
yeah,
either whether you lock the door or not because they banging like, "Mommy, where are
yeah,
you?" Be like, "Oh my goodness, I can't even go to the bathroom. Like this is
yeah,
crazy. Like where did you go? Like, and it don't matter who it is. It could be the kids, it could be the pets.
yeah,
It don't matter. Like they are
yes,
like, give me
yes,
a moment." Yes, so I think everybody's hiding places the bathroom. Um, since the pandemic, mine's been the car. Like I'll go out to the car, but even that don't work because they'll come
yes,
out and
and look
start
for
on
you.
the window. Like
Yes,
I'm like, what? Like y'all, I call it the office. I'm like, I'm in the office. Like what? And they be like, open the door. I'm like, no.
yes,
But yes, but that's funny. You said you had to go lock yourself in the bathroom, but that's but I know our listeners could probably relate. They probably laughing right now too, because they do the same thing. But thank you for sharing. I'm hoping like that's why I started the Autism Moms Night Out, because of that exact
yes,
reason. Like we do so many things, and I'm saying we as in
yeah,
moms in
yeah,
general
yeah,
do so much that we never take that time to take care of
yeah,
ourselves and to have a child with special needs. That's like another thing because we don't get a break.
right,
Like we're constantly moving, constantly taking them to the doctors. Like it's never ending. Like I know when my son was younger, I worked a night job. So I worked from 11 at night to 7 in the
mm-hmm.
morning. And then he was doing like he was seeing specialists and he was going to child, like we practically lived in child
Mm-hmm.
his first 6 7 years of life.
Wow,
And so this one particular, like I used to work Thursday to Sunday, and this one particular week I did a double, and I because somebody called off, so I stayed until 3, and then I went like I was doing my extracurricular activities on the choir at church, going around helping everybody. And we had choir rehearsal this one particular I think it was on a Thursday, and we had something at the church like the day before. And I went to choir rehearsal, and one of the little kids was like, "Didn't you put that on yesterday?" And I was like, "What?"
wow,
Because I the night
uh-huh,
before I were into the doctor's, I had went grocery shopping to the laundromat. So when he see me Wednesday, and I had to think about, I'm like, I had lost track of the days because I had been going
yeah.
nonstop, and I was like, wait, like, did I have this on yesterday? And ever since then, I had to tell myself, like, even if it's just one day out of the 30 days,
Yeah.
like, you gotta do a self care day and a self check.
Yeah.
So a self care and a self check in, and that could be mentally, physically, however you want it to be. But just make sure that you at least give yourself one day, because you're worth more than one day. But if you could squeeze that one day in, then
Yeah.
definitely like just let everybody know like I need this break because mentally we're taking on a lot, and our families, they don't
Yeah.
know I know for myself, like I'm a real private person. Like I'll hold everything in, and then they'll see me crying nonstop. And they be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like,
Well,
and
you
I'm
know that's
like,
that Capricorn in us too, though.
"Yes, yes." Like, yes. And they be like, "What's wrong?" And I'm
Cause
like,
we could be
"And you
some
just
cry babies, boy.
yes, yes." And then nonstop, and then don't mess with us while we in that
Yes.
moment, because crying gonna turn to a whole nother level. And then you gonna be like, "Why you mad at me?" But we just like we're like we I don't know, like for Capricorn, I don't want to start,
Yeah.
making it
Uh
like a
huh.
Capricorn Scorpio like type of thing, but we're just private people. Like we just want to make sure we're taking care of
Yeah.
everybody when
Yes.
they need to be taken care of and
Yes.
how they need to be taken care of. I know my grandma always said like treat
Yep.
others the way you want to
Yep.
be treated. And that's how I'm always like that, and always say
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Like those are
Yes.
two things.
Please and
Treat people
thank
the
you.
way you want to be
Yes.
treated, and always say because you never know when it's gonna be your
Yes.
last thank you. Like she always used to tell me that, and to this day I always say thank you, like probably too much. Like people look at me and be like,
Uh
"I wish
huh.
she stopped
Uh
saying thank
huh.
you." I just want to let you know how I feel,
Yep.
just in case. But yeah, but thank you for sharing that. But we're gonna make sure Jamila have at least one day out the month. So we're gonna make that happen. We're
Yeah.
gonna make that happen, even if just just a couple hours, because it can be a lot. Um, I know and then now starting a business and and it's growing. Just making sure that you
Yep.
do
And as
have.
I tell my stepdaughter, just because I have a husband or a living father doesn't mean that he helps with the kids. So sometimes the kids and the kids' situation is still all on mommy. And, you know,
Mm,
daddy's at work and don't have to deal with it or don't have to worry about it, but it still always comes to mommy. Even with my bonus kids, they come to stepmom before they go to dad. So, you
mm,
know, I don't want to say that I love that they can come to me. So I don't want to say that it's overwhelming because I love that they respect me enough and they have enough confidence in me to share with me,
mm,
their issues and what they're going through. So I do love and respect that. But it can be overwhelming, very
mm.
overwhelming.
Yeah. So I that's when you need you have that quiet time with God and that that prayer life. So you're definitely praying over them, you know, um, making sure that their needs are met and that
Yeah,
you're doing it in
yeah,
a motherly way. So and they see that
yeah.
and they respect that. So that's why they don't have a problem coming to you when they need to. So that's awesome. That's a
Mm,
godly woman right there.
thank you.
That's awesome. You're welcome. Um, so is there anything that you want to share with the listeners? And it could be business related, it could be family related, it could be, whatever topic you want to
Um,
discuss.
I just want to share that, um, you know, one thing that life is precious, especially with this pandemic. Um, hold close to family, love on your loved ones, love on your kids, um, and just take this time to reflect on your life and to maybe with this pandemic, it made me think of things a lot differently. And it gave me time to think about savings a lot because with this pandemic, a lot happened so suddenly to where a lot of people were scrambling, like, and they still are wondering where they're going to get their next meal. So I would just hope to encourage someone to stay in prayer. Um, don't be afraid to reach out to friends and family if you need to. Mental health is another thing that I that worries me, even with autism moms, because having a child with autism can be very, very, very stressful and very overwhelming, especially when they having their meltdowns, or they're nonverbal and you don't know what's causing them to have their meltdowns, or you just trying to get services for your child. A lot of that can be stressful and a lot of that can be overwhelming. I've had parents that have called me in the middle of the night, you know, wanting to make it their last night. So I want to say, please always feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, under Autism Rec, or you can find me on my personal page, which is Jamila Tucker Mulero on Facebook and Jamila Mulero 1 on Instagram. I would would love and wouldn't mind to be a support system, or just to be that person that you reach out to when you in your darkest moments. Because again, that's one of the things that Autism Rec is here for. Autism Rec, the Rec stands for resources, encouragement, and coping. I also did the Rec because my dream and my goal is to one day have a rec center that's geared towards kids with autism, and not just autism, special needs altogether. Um, so, like I said, I'm here. I'm available. Um, I do have a website that is in the process of being worked on, but you can still go on the website. It's autismrec.com. You can fill out the contact form. I'll get back in touch with you within at least within 24 to 48 hours. Um, just to know that I am here. And another thing that we do at Autism Rec, we usually have a Halloween party. We're not having a Halloween party this year because of the pandemic. So I did post on my social media, if you still want to participate in Halloween with Autism Rec, you can post your child's pictures of Halloween. We will still do the best Halloween costume. Um, for the kids, for the parents, for families. We've done that for the last 3 years. Did a Halloween party, parents, kids. They won best costume, funniest costume, scariest costume. Also for Thanksgiving, we give out um, turkey baskets with the all of the fixings that you need for Thanksgiving dinner. We try to make that one less thing that a parent has to worry about or has to get. Again, with this pandemic, we don't know how we're going to do it yet. But again, me and Levine is going to work together on this to see if we
Mhm.
can do something small face to face, where we just do it in groups and at a certain time where parents can come pick up their turkeys. The kids can write out their Christmas wish list, because we also do plan to give kids gifts from off of their Christmas wish list. Again, this would be our third annual, but with the pandemic, we don't know what's going to happen. Um, so I would just say follow Autism Rec on Facebook and on Instagram to find out more about the Halloween contest, about the Thanksgiving basket giveaway, and about the Christmas wish list. Um, I will also be doing some live videos of different workshops that we will be offering when we can meet face to face. Again, we may be doing small groups, maybe small groups of 5 for different age groups. But I will be doing some videos on some sewing lessons, some sewing classes with my mom, because she's the sewer and the crocheter of the family. So that is her workshop. Yes.
The bacon.
And the baking, yes. So that will be her workshops, but we will be doing some like small short videos showing you the basics. Um as we do the videos, if you want to participate, we have fabric that we can send to you. We will be doing painting with a twist. We have a lot planned and a lot going on, and I have meetings planned so that we can try to start doing these things virtually. And then, like I said, maybe hopefully by February or March, we can start, if not before, we can start doing small groups face to face.
Awesome, awesome. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. So one
Mm-hmm.
last question. So I know you and I've interviewed you before. So we've talked about when you received your son's diagnosis. So I'm gonna do like a little twist to it. And what would the Jamila today tell the Jamila that was sitting in that doctor's
Girl, calm
office
down.
and received diagnosis?
I would say, girl, calm down, calm down. It's not a death sentence. It's not the end of the world, and you got this. God wouldn't put on you more than what you can bear, so you got this. Um, wow, yeah, that's what I would tell myself. Like, calm down. It's not the end of the world, and I guess that would be it because when I got that diagnosis, I just felt like it was the end of the world. And I got the diagnosis in 2011, and it was a month after my father had passed away. So I lost my father, and then I got this diagnosis of my son. So it was just like I felt like everything was just crashing down on me at one time, and I kept saying like, "Why me?" But now I can hold my head up high and I say, "Why not me?" I know why God picked me now. So I guess that's
Mm,
what I would tell myself is to calm down. It's not the end of the world.
yes, calm down, girl. Calm down. You got this. Yes, yes. Because I know, and our stories are kind of similar with our children
Yeah,
being born premature. And that whole experience with the
yeah,
NICU and, all the specialists and early intervention. And so, yeah,
yeah.
just calm down, girl. I mean, it is a journey, and going through the journey, like you were saying before, is not going to be easy,
And that
but
journey, that
you'll
journey
get through.
made me a
Mhm,
better person. So I can't even say that I
mhm.
would do the journey differently because it made me a better person. It made me a stronger person. So it made me have more confidence in myself. Um, and now seeing my son now, it's like I have more confidence in him that I know when he get older, he's gonna be something and he's gonna do something. I may not know what it is, I may not see it right now, but he's gonna be something and he's gonna do something because he has something special in him. So that's what I would tell myself. Yeah.
Aw- Awesome. So, what would you tell another parent um that's caring for their child? Because I know you would tell yourself in the beginning, calm down. So, what would you share with them?
I would just
Um,
tell them to
are they going through this?
get as much information as you possibly can. Do your own research. Don't listen to everybody else because everybody else is different and your child is different from everybody else's child. So do your own research, get educated. There's plenty of programs out here that that has free education for parents. One of the ones that I use constantly or that I got some of my certificates from or that I got my learning from because I wanted to learn more about autism, not just for my son, but to maybe help the next parent, like you said. But it's Philadelphia Autism Project, and then they link you to I think it's called a CERT. where they have
mm,
educational classes on, it's like Autism 101, where you just learning the basis of autism. They have different steps on dealing with autism and social behavior, dealing with autism and um, 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 it's right on the tip of my tongue, with different be- behavior issues. Um, so I went on, it's assert, I believe it's assert.com. But if you go to Philadelphia Autism Project, they will then, it's like a link to do the e learning. And then you can, once you click that link to do the e learning, it's a bunch of things on there where you can also get CEU credits. Another one I used was, I think it was Michigan State, and it's Ohio
mhm,
State. They also have, it's a
yeah,
lot out there that have
yeah,
free classes. And like I said, if you go on my Facebook page, Autism Rec, you can see the different certificates that I got, and it's also show you where I received those certificates from. So you can just go on them same links and get the certificates and learn as much as you can to help your child. And when you got them therapists coming to your house, you just sit down and you watch, and you watching from afar until you comfortable enough to leave the room and let your child work alone. Just watch what they doing and learn what they doing so you can continue to do it when they're not there. I ask questions when my son therapist comes, like, what did y'all work on today? So I can continue to work on it throughout the week. Um, but yeah, just I would just say is learn as much as you can about it. Don't look at it like it's a death sentence, and don't be discouraged. Just do your research and learn as much as you can. And again, I try not to listen to a lot of other parents. I try not to ask parents, well, my son is going through this. What did your son do? Or what did your child do? I try not to get into that because, again, my child is different from their child. My child may not have the same reaction that their child may have had. So I just try to go off and, you know, put my own spin on it or do my own research.
awesome, awesome. That's good information for them to know. Yeah, when you was talking about the Ohio, I believe that's the one I'm doing. I'm doing a refresher course now on
Mm.
my training, uh, and I think it's the Ohio State one is the one I'm doing. But it is a lot of
Yeah.
trainings
Even
that you
Penn
take,
State
and
with the
then
National Autism Conference. Um, when I went there
mhm,
and they gave me a certificate for doing 26 hours of education, of an education course. That was also free for parents. And then I did it again this year, and this year it was free because it was virtual and it was online. So I also
mhm.
did another, I think it was maybe 28 hours this year. So I received two certificates from Penn State. So Penn State also has it, and I know it's another conference that goes on in New Jersey, but I'm not familiar with that conference that goes on in New Jersey.
Oh,
And then I'm sorry,
yeah, it is.
Philadelphia. Why it's on the top of my head,
Oh no, you
Philadelphia
good.
Autism Project. They also have their conference
That's
coming up. I want to say maybe like November 9th through the 14th.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's November 9th through the 14th. I seen it today on
Yeah, and
their
that's why I said let me
Instagram
say
page.
it while it's on my head because I actually have received the email from them yesterday. So you can even, see what their conferences is about and learn from there. And they also have videos and stuff on their website.
Yeah, Philadelphia Autism Project is
Yeah.
they're full of information, as well as connecting the community with other resources and other projects and organizations in the community. So I definitely um think they're doing an awesome job
Thank you.
here in
Thank you.
Philadelphia. Yeah, and because I know you even referred them to me, so she's the resource queen when it comes to learning information and what's out in the community. So thank you so
Yep.
much for
Thank you for
coming
having me.
um and sharing your wealth of information with our listeners. So I know you had mentioned your how to contact you. So if you want to do that just one more time, how somebody can contact you via social media, your website, and any other platform you
So,
may have.
social media webs information for Autism Rec is just what it says. Autism Rec, AUTISMREC. That is on Facebook as well as Instagram. And then my personal page on Facebook is Jamila Tucker Mulero, JAMILA Tucker, TUCKER hyphen MULERO. And on Instagram is Jamila M1. And my email for Autism Rec is jamila@autismrec.com. I don't mind sharing my phone number with people as long as you are calling me for assistance or help. I don't mind. So that is 215-200-0405. And our website is autismrec.com. And that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Tell my
Yeah, I
friend I
sure
said
will.
hello. I know he's not asleep right now because we're doing this late. But tell him I said hello. I miss you guys. Because I know by now me and
Yes,
you would have did
yes,
something together. A project, been in a meeting or something together. So I definitely do miss you guys. Um, so hopefully we'll be able to, like Jamila said, we'll be able to put together something for November to give out the basket. Um, so we're working on that now, and we're looking forward to the future for Autism Rec and everything that it will be. Like I know it will be a blessing to so many, and I'm so glad that I know me and Jamila. Before we used to go back and forth whether or not she wanted to be a for-profit, a non-profit. So I'm so excited that she was able to put it as a nonprofit organization because it's going to
yes.
bless so many. So yeah, so
Thank
thank you
you.
again, and I just you're
And I just
welcome.
want to
You're
say
welcome.
thank you
So
to Advocate for Me for partnering with Autism Rec throughout the years, and will continue to partner with Autism Rec as we have things planned for the future that I'm going to keep quiet for now, but y'all stay tuned. There's some great things coming between Autism Rec and Advocate for Me.
yes, yes, you
Yes.
God don't make no mistakes. That's why you was the one I found on Eventbrite,
Yes.
and the only one. He does not make mistakes. Like my prayers always lead me to the people that you want me to work with, lead me to the people that you want me to educate, and lead me to the people
Yes.
that you want me to
And I
advocate
love it when
for.
you say that
So
God
he's
is your
definitely,
agent. Yeah.
yes, yes, he is. Because when I tell you some of the stuff in the rooms that I've been into, I have never
Yeah.
met some of these people. And I'm like, how did I get here? And it's only because somebody that may have heard my name or somebody knows
Right.
somebody else that know
Yep.
and they know me. They've just said, "Well, I know, because it's been a couple times where because of the children's book, somebody said, "Well, I know somebody that wrote a children's book." And they be like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, okay, tell her to come on." And I'm on a panel or I'm at a table, or now I'm teaching with early intervention. So it's just been so many
Yeah.
doors that God has opened up for me. And I know that I just asked him to
Yeah.
use me as a
Yep.
vessel and put me wherever you need me to be, because I definitely know those doors that opened
Yes.
up was
Yes.
not me. I can have all the degrees and all of the
Yeah.
education that I might need, but I definitely know that he was my agent in all those. And I'm I'm humbled and I'm blessed. Like even now, when somebody be like, "Oh, she's an expert," I be like, I'm
Right.
still a work in progress, but if you want to
Yes.
say I'm an
Yes.
expert, then go ahead. But I'm just making sure I'm educating whoever I need to educate. Like even with this podcast, like even in my why of why I started it. Sorry. Because of the pandemic, we normally have like a workshop in the spring. We
Right.
do the Autism Moms Night Out in April. We normally have a workshop like right after the school year, and we normally do something in the fall. And because of the pandemic, I was like, I still want to reach out
Yeah.
to people. I still want to be able to educate people. I still want to be able to share people's journeys and people's stories. And I was like, well, how can I do that? And um, one of my friends was being interviewed on Anchor on a podcast, and then I just started researching it, and then I reached out to the person who interviewed her, and they was like, "Oh yes, like it's awesome. It's an awesome platform." So I did my research,
Okay.
and here we are with episode. I believe this episode number 5. So we're
Yes.
gonna keep
Yes.
it going. Until they say we can't do it no more. However, I need to share it with the community. I looked at the analytics the other day. We had some people in Russia and United Kingdom that listened to one of our episodes. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it's
Yes.
going
Yes.
global. So, like I said, whatever, God calls me to do, I'm just being obedient, and that
Yes.
is a struggle in itself. Because I would, even with the children's book, like I was like, I'm not going to do it until my mentor was like, you got families out there who need to see this book, need to read this book, and need to know that their child is in this book, like they
Right.
see themselves in this book. And that's what pushed me to do it. So, however he wants to use me, whether it's a children book, a podcast, um,
Yeah.
our future goals that we working on now. So listen out for Advocate for Me and Autism Work,
Yeah.
because we're coming,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we're coming to make sure that our families and our community is educated, and that they know that they have a purpose and that they have a drive. And like Jamila said, it's not a death sentence. Whatever the diagnosis may be, it's
Yeah.
not a death sentence. You just have to do your research. Just have to be open um, to the
Yeah.
the possibilities that when man say it's
It's possible.
impossible,
Yeah.
God say it's possible. And I've seen that with my eyes working in early intervention. I've seen children that's been nonverbal um,
Hmm.
communicate and speak. It might not be what the
Right.
typical communication is, but they speak
And
something. And to
my
see that,
son
yes.
was nonverbal until I want to say about 7 or 8, and he's 11 right now. So he still, is not 100% verbal. Like he's still, we might not be able to hold a conversation back and forth, but he's getting there. So,
Hmm.
anything is possible. Like they told me, when my son was born, that he wouldn't make it a day, or he wouldn't make it a week, or when he did make it and he's 11 and then he turned 2, they said he had autism. He will never talk. He may not be able to ever dress himself, but my son dresses himself. He makes his own food. He can make his own homemade pizza. He can boil him some eggs. He feeds the dogs and he feeds the cat on schedule. So he's doing a lot that they said he wouldn't be able to do. So I don't look at that word impossible as not being able to do. Like you said, I look at it as I am possible with God. Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, yes, because all things
Yep.
is possible with him. All things like you were sharing just now, like just like watching our kids go from being in the NICU and them saying, like you said, they won't, be able to make it past a day
Yep.
and a week and a month. And like I know I share my story sometimes when I had to get my son's social security number, and you
Mhm.
got to get the birth record from the hospital, and the social worker was like,
Uh
well, we
huh.
don't know if he's going to make it. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, really? I was like, my son was like 4 days old. I was like, well, I don't know the God you serve, but the
Right.
God I serve tells
Yeah.
me that my son is going to make it, and I'm gonna need that piece of
Yeah.
paper like ASAP. He just looked at me. I had to go above him, but at the end of the day, my son right now is 13, and he's thriving. And just to hear those stories, like
Yeah.
you know, one, you got to be careful what you say about
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
children. That's the first thing. And the second thing is when you serve God, God makes the impossible
Yeah.
possible. So I'm so glad to hear both our journeys for both our sons and our
Yeah.
family in general. Um, Having a great support system, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's our autism community, whether it's our special needs community, special healthcare needs community,
Yeah.
we all supporting each other, and you're not
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
You're definitely
Yeah.
not alone. Yes. It has been a pleasure. Is there anything else that you wanted to share before I
No,
close this
that's
out?
it. That's it. Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome. So I look forward to having you on again in the future so we can share the future
Yeah.
projects for Autism
Yeah.
Rec.
Yeah.
Yes. And tell mom January coming quickly. Say that. Jada was just talking about that cake today. I was like what? I was like, where that cake go? Like, and we got called
Yep,
Jamila Miles.
all you gotta do is say when you want it and it's there.
Yes, yes, yes. And she gonna bring it. Yes, I'll be giving
Yep.
her a call. But yes, tell the
Yep.
family, get on my regards, and let them know that
Thank you.
everyone is
You
in
as
my
well.
prayers and looking. You're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you to our listeners for listening. Again, this is Levon McMillan, the founder and CEO of Advocate for Me, LLC in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We specialize with offering resources, advocacy, and training to families who are caring for their special needs child. And we look forward to you tuning in until our next episode. But right now, be safe and be blessed and have a blessed night.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you again,
blessed one,
Jamila.
everyone.